Welcome to The Channel Surfers, a podcast that helps guide you through the ever-evolving and changing crazy world of channel partnerships. I'm your co-host, Jeff Lennon, and I'm here with my good friend, John McCabe, my
Hey, Jeff.
co-host.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, man. Crazy day today. So look, let's just, I'll kind of set the table. Look, we're just two crazy guys trying to help folks not wipe out in the channel surf zone of the what's going on out there in the channel space. Today, we have a really special guest with us. I had the opportunity to meet him at the Catalyst event out in Seattle, and kind of a funny conversation, which we'll kind of get into. But as he was walking through and explaining his solution to me, we realized that my cohort here, John, is actually a customer. So we have a lot of interesting background on the product. And this is not a promo of it, but we did have an episode where we talked about partner relationship management solutions. And we wanted to kind of take an opportunity to, and we also, by the way, let me take a half step back. We started talking about Catalyst. One of the takeaways that I had from there was the different solutions that we saw and artificial intelligence, right? So long story short, got a demo from these guys, thought it was interesting. So without any further ado, I want to introduce, and I'm going to butcher your name, but it's Andreas Geamanu. Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome.
Correct.
Welcome to the show, Andreas. This is like a holiday for me. I am, I don't know if you're familiar with the word nerd, but I'm a PRM nerd. I really get into the technology, and honestly, your technology is phenomenal. So please give us a little intro and tell us what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, great to meet you guys, and it you see it on your shirts that it's a holiday for you guys. That's for sure. So Andreas, co-founder and CEO at Introw. So we're helping more than 200 companies worldwide to increase partnership revenue and engagement on autopilot with our PRM solution. And basically, we're focusing on three simple things, which is a very deep CRM integration, a very fast time to value, your setup in minutes, and then a lot of portal collaboration, because let's be honest, partners don't want to log into your portal for every small step. So that's a small background. We're a Ghent, Belgium-based company, but serving worldwide.
Beautiful. I'd love to go to Belgium. That's one of the European countries I'm dying to go to. So, but yeah, welcome to the show, and I'm excited. I know we've talked in emails, and I was on the initial demo when we were looking at you guys, but this is the first time I've actually seen you face to face. But I look. PRM is something near and dear to my heart. I feel like it's one of the most important tools that a channel organization must have. I'm a big partnership leaders guy. I've preached PRM, and people have come to me, I don't know how many times over the years, to talk about, some of your competitors like Allbound and InPartner, and I've met them all, and I've worked with them all. And, I try to emphasize to the partnership leaders who come to me that, this is something, your sales organization can't, take a shortcut on. You need to be able to have a solution that is going to grab the opportunities that are being brought to you and track them, and have the matrix that shows like how many days the deal took to close, how much revenue is being generated right now. Like there's one of our partners that is just crushing it, and to show that to executive teams that they're at like $4 million in deal-regged opportunities is pretty powerful, right? And I think a lot of times what I see with, and you can maybe address this because you're talking to clients, right? But one thing I've seen over time is organizations will implement a PRM, and I've come in after the fact to try and clean it up or fix it. But a lot of times they just kind of forget about it. They don't emphasize, utilizing the tool. I'm a big believer in partners living and breathing in that partner portal as well as I am. I'm in partner portal every day. I wake up, I turn it on, I'm looking at it. And I make sure to emphasize that to the partners. But what have you seen? Like, are customers, reluctant? Are they not sure it's the right thing to put into place? The cost, and what do you tell them about that? Because I think it's really important that they have it.
Yeah, true. Well, there's a few points, and it's a really cool topic because obviously adoption is something every platform wants, right? Even if it's not a partner platform, any platform that you build, you need adoption, right? If you see adoption decrease, you will see churn increase. So that's just the basics of adoption. Now, first of all, what we really realized even over the last years is that a partner solution is more and more seen as part of your revenue stack, right? Whereas before it was more a separate tool. Oh yeah, we have the partners, they need a partner solution. Now it's much more seen as part of your revenue stack. So it becomes more and more integrated as well with your revenue stack. So in terms of adoption, we see it actually in two folds. We're actually breaking silos, for example, at Introw by creating CRM co-pilots in HubSpot and Salesforce, where the sales team, marketing team, and so on, they don't even need to go anymore to the partner platform. They can just do everything from within the CRM, linking back to that PRM. So that's one way of increasing adoption. But then on the partner side or the partner manager side, obviously everything is about smart nudging and keeping partners going to that platform, right? If you never send an email about, for example, a specific insight of a partner or a partner that has visited the portal, or they may have maybe viewed specific sales content, if you don't nudge the partner managers about that, they will not go to the partner platform. And I think, John,
I love the nudge button, by the way. So go ahead, talk about that.
What was that? Say that again.
Great. Well, nudge. No, but the thing is, that's actually creating what you have today, John. And this is, I think, a way where you have that experience of decades, where you have already the thing that you go up in the morning and you go to the PRM, creating those smart nudges and smart emails in Slack and in your email and so on. That creates the habit, like, okay, we need to go, or we need to start our day by going into the PRM.
Yeah. One thing I used to do, I wanted to create a guide to use my portal, and I've kind of created it. Some partner portals have like a user guide you could pull out, and I would brand it. Some don't. I'd have to do it and create it myself. But what I love about your portal, we actually have a video instruction and a guide to using the portal right in their room. Every partner has a room, right? And I think that's amazing. And also the other thing I love is, and I'm using it a lot now, is the announcements. Being able to create an announcement. Hey, our product, like we're coming out with a new version, a spiff that we're running, any kind of announcement that I could nudge or get in front of the partners, I'm going to do it. And I do it every week now. And you could track how many people opened the announcement and have read it. And that's something like I tried to do with other portals. They didn't have that capability. But I also try to get my partner, the ops people that do the deal regs or the sales reps in front of me to show them and say, hey, this is our portal. This is where we have to go every day. And I talked a little bit about with Jeff in one of our episodes. Mindshare is really important. Partner mindshare is really important for me. Partner mindshare is also a way to get them to your portal. And I used to do some little gimmicky things to help get partners to go to our portal. I created a mouse pad with all the information on how to register a deal with us, a particular company I was with the instructions and the link and everything. And like now you could do that through like Introw. You could do a nudge. You could do the announcements, and it works. It's amazing how it works. I actually pushed out like the ability to sign up and log in, and I got a huge response. I was just nudging people, and they actually went in and logged in. So,
damn.
That's really cool. And that's just in general in partnerships. What we see is that you want to keep your partners top of mind, right? And what you see is they only have a certain headspace. They are maybe even selling your competitor's solutions, so they have multiple solutions that they can sell. So the only thing you want to create is top of mindness. You don't want them to proactively think about it. You just want them to actually react on all the things that you guys send to them on autopilot. If it's deal updates, if it's announcements about the product and so on. Because a person, let's be honest, they just have their headspace for the day. And if you're not in there, if you're not proactively helping them to stay top of mind with your solution, nothing will happen.
Yeah, no, and one thing I think is critical that you guys covered, amazingly, creating a content library. Like Allbound had a phenomenal content library. They, I would upload a document. It would create a little nice thumbnail with the picture of the document. And you could visually go in and be like, oh, I need a document on endpoint. Boom, right there. I've worked with some that have like just a folder with a list of documents, and it's kind of clunky and hard to get to. Your content library is very good. Very similar to Allbound, in that regard. But that's something that's, I think, critical. Deal reg, absolutely number one thing that I need from a partner portal. I need to be able to capture the deal and track it and show the matrix. But content is also important, because lacking an LMS or being able to do the enablement through the partner portal, having content that I could push out, and we could put those videos and all that content in their room so they can see it, is really smart, right? And talk to me about what you like in the design phases of the portal. What did you capture from experience and customer feedback that created Introw? Because you did a phenomenal job, and I'm just wondering how much of that was customer feedback from you.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. So I think, first of all, what the main challenge is that a lot of platforms or partner platforms take a lot of time to get implemented, right?
Yeah.
And we were actually thinking like, okay, that SMB markets, they don't have time to actually have a full customized partner portal and so on. They want actually something where you're able to get launched instantly, right? And this ties back to the beginning of this podcast. This is how you also test other revenue tech solutions, right? If you test in Apollo or ZoomInfo or tools like that, you don't want to wait for a 2-3 months time to integrate with your CRM or to other tools. So you want that instant time to value. So based on that, we also saw that every partner is different. So you don't want to have the same partner experience for every type of partner. And the cool thing is that as you know, Introw is designed where you can actually build almost your own partner portal, right? So you can decide where you put the content, how it looks like, and so on. So this provides the flexibility to any type of company to actually create a personalized experience for that partner. And how much of that is based on customer feedback? I would say a lot. I think one of the things that we really, really focus very hard on is being so close to customers, right? We have with a lot of customers a shared Slack channel where our engineers are in there. They see everything passing by. They do instant updates. They answer on every customer request. And obviously, we try to automate as much with AI. We're using, for example, Intercom, the Fin AI agent, to answer our customer support instantly. But still, to have that real feedback, you just want to have that one-on-one relation with every customer.
So listen, don't take offense to this, but you look kind of young. How did you get into PRM? How did you find PRM and create a company? I mean, what motivated you guys to do that?
It's a good point. So I'm 26 now. So before this,
oh my God,
my oldest son is 26.
I got socks older than you. Come on.
No, but like before.
No, that's awesome. By the way, sorry.
Yeah, before this, I was working at another startup, and 90% of sales was coming through partnerships. It was a hardware, software, safety technology for forklifts. So it was the Amazon warehouses where you don't want forklifts bumping into people. So there was a hardware and software solution making sure that did not happen anymore. Now, the challenge there was obviously you needed people to go into the warehouses and present the solution. So very traditional channel, right? You want to have someone presenting that solution in the warehouse, and with a small company, you cannot be in any warehouse in the world. So that was the reason we went through partners. Now, the challenge that we were facing is that most of our partners were bigger companies than us. So you work with companies with 500 employees, 1,000 employees, and so on. Now, obviously, if you want to enable these individuals, because in that partnership relation, you need to enable the individuals, you need to do bottom up and top down at the same time. There was not really an easy way to really enable people at scale in a simple way, right? We didn't want to spend months in actually a big implementation. We just wanted something to keep the sales team of our partners top of mind at scale. And that's actually where we left the company and get together with some old friends and started Introw.
And I think that's a great story, because the way you design Introw, it's you could tell it's not like done to focus on the old way of doing things, right? It's new, it's innovative.
Well,
It
it's coming from
flows.
a different paradigm, John.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and it's funny you say that, right? I mean, it is, and I don't mean to cut you off, but and again, I'm not using it, but I looked at a lot of stuff on your site after we talked, and so it's interesting to me. And by the way, the quick takeaways is right, fast, rapid deployment, because we kind of talked about why PRMs don't succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have fast deployment, it's flexible, it's personalized. Just curious, right? Thinking about what you guys do you guys offer like a playbook or best practices? Because even though you can do fast, and it's great to be fast, right, and it's great to be flexible and have it personalized, but a lot of these companies, and John gets this, are smaller, right? So they're smaller, they're very nimble, and they may not have the knowledge or expertise of somebody who knows how to deploy the PRM. Do you have things that can actually help deploy it faster and say, hey, well, look, here's a best practice. Here's what we see for your type of company, whatever it is. I'm just curious.
No, 100%, and that's a fair point. So the cool thing is, Jeff, from the moment that a customer or prospect creates an account and connects their CRM, Introw automatically creates all the deal form, leads forms, experiences. So you don't start from scratch, right? You're almost 80% done before launching. Obviously, you need to upload your own documents. You need to upload your own structure on that sense. But a lot of the work has been done. And if we talk about that narrative, or the old way, new way, we're a really big fan of Andy Raskin. I don't know if you know him, but he's actually the inventor of strategic narrative, which is actually comparing the future state of mind with the current state of mind. And we really want to actually help our partnership managers to live in the future. And that's also with our AI agent at any point of time, or AI channel conflict resolution, or AI support solution. So we want to actually go with them into the future. We want to actually make sure that we're building for their future state of mind, not for their current state of mind. And I think always thinking about how will it look like in 5 to 10 years, and building that together with this amazing team every day, make sure that we can tie close to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And look, for the listeners out there, if you're not familiar with PRM, or you're on the fence about PRM, or you don't know how to approach it, or you don't know how to get your executives to buy off on it, you should take a look at a solution like Introw, and the value of what Andreas's company can lend to your organization is amazing. And look, the implementation piece that Jeff mentioned, it's tough. Some solutions are really hard. In fact, you maybe need to get consultants to help put it in. I know there's one, I'm not going to mention their name, that was incredibly tough to deal with. Their solution was very enterprise level and not for small companies. No. Anytime I needed to do something, I'd have to reach out to them to have them do something for me, like co-brand a document I created. Allbound created something that was easy to do. You could do it right in the portal, but you don't want to have it be difficult, because if it's difficult, you're not going to use it. Adoption is going to be slow, and your senior executives are going to be like, why am I spending this kind of money for this tool that's not being used, right? Quick and nimble, easy to use, solves a big problem. You check all those boxes, and it helps to get the adoption quicker, right?
Well, and I'll throw something in there. So you're going to laugh, because when we worked together at EMC, there was a term that was used a lot. And just listening to both of you guys kind of talk through this, right? It's all about top of mind value. Frictionless, reducing the friction of execution. I mean, that's one of my key takeaways, just listening to this in the first 10 minutes. It's actually kind of interesting. So, but anyway, you can take that, because that's my initial takeaway after having this conversation. Having not used it, it just sounds like, first, basically you got to keep it top of mind, but you got to deliver. To keep it top of mind, you have to deliver value. Mm-hmm. And I think that you've simplified the execution to deliver value. I want to come into the AI stuff, but delivering that value, but doing it in a frictionless way. You're meeting. Oh my God, John, this is another. You're meeting the partner managers and the partner teams where they live, so that they can execute, right?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that Copilot thing, which I definitely want to kind of unpack that if we can at some point in this conversation.
Yeah. But just to add to that, like, again, I want my partners to live and breathe in the partner portal. I want them to, for anything that's related to the company that I'm working with, I want them to go there. I want the truth of my company and the product in that partner portal, and I want them to be able to transact. I want them to communicate. I want them to deal reg. I want them to find content. Like, not that I don't want to do the job or help them, but I want them to have a central point, because, Jeff, you've been in sales, you've been in channel. Like, when you have a question on something and you have to go look everywhere for it, and you don't get the right answer, it's frustrating, right? So having somewhere to go where you get all the answers, that's what you need. And
or at least know there's a place to
perfect.
get the answers, I think is key, John, right? Knowing there is a place to get an answer.
Absolutely.
So that you can move quickly, right? So but anyway, no.
So a funny side note in that one as well, Jeff, is that frictionless experience is something we set together with the Introw team, with our co-founders, is that constantly in our reviews, we were getting the review of that our platform is easy to use for the partner managers and for the partners. So we got that feedback of easy. And we were sitting together with our heads and we were thinking, like, we're building all this innovation every day, and the only thing that we get is that it's easy. Like, that doesn't sound like a fancy word. But then we trickled down to actually all of that, and we actually sat down together and said, like, no, but that's actually what you want to create in
that's
every
it. It's amazing.
in every market.
It's E squared. It's easy.
True.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of facets to the jobs that Jeff and I, have running channel organizations. You don't want to have to like stress or be overcomplicated on doing something like getting a partner to deal reg and have them figure out where to track it and understand to see where it's going, and having it easy is a win. That takes one less thing from our plate that we have to really kind of emphasize, right? Doing something like tracking deals through a email or a spreadsheet are the worst thing possible. That's where channel conflict comes in, because you might not see an email from one partner. Another partner sends it to another rep in your organization, and they're like, oh, I'll deal reg it for you. And they mark it off and send it to me or send it to Jeff. And it's like, wait a minute, we already had an email from someone. So I want timestamp. I want record. I want to be able to track it. That's got to be, but making it easy is a very good thing. And that's why I think, Introw is an amazing solution for a channel organization to help manage those partner relationships.
So I have a quick question for you. Well, it's a quick question. Might take a little bit longer to answer, but how long has Introw been around?
3 years now.
3 years. So, and this is more about where your journey, so to speak, but what would you say you're most proud of about Introw and what you guys have been able to accomplish so far?
Yeah.
Well, on a personal note, it's definitely the team that we've built, right? So
Awesome.
It doesn't sound, maybe it's not tied to the partnership relationships or whatsoever. So I would say that's 100% what I would answer on that question. If we look more on the PRM and partner side of things, it's the fact that we got some people to love PRMs again. Where they were like, okay, we've been trying this, and we didn't get budget for it, or we weren't able to launch the platform or whatsoever. So I would say that's something we're really proud of, is that some people have again the trust in a PRM and how it would look like in a modern revenue stack, and how that could integrate with all their existing tools today.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wow. That's a great answer. Yeah, like Jeff, I'm just thinking back to the conversation we had, with Jay McBain, and Jay is, the authority on channel, and he knows everything, anything you need to know about channel in this world. And we were talking to him. He's going to be a guest on our show. We were doing a prep call with him, and nice. I mentioned PRM, and we mentioned we were talking to you, and I said, oh, I think it's amazing technology, and I've worked with a few amazing technologies. And he goes, well, I think he thinks Salesforce is a really great offering in what they've done. And I'm like, true, but I think that's a better solution for a bigger company, right? And I'm not denying Salesforce is a great solution. I'm not denying Jay's opinion. I think he's great. I'm just saying, like, when you're talking about a small organization, you can't take on a Salesforce. You can't take on an in partner. You can't take on, the big players that are real enterprise grade type of solutions, you really need something like what we talked about, an easy solution, affordable, can grow and scale, and the technology, you're constantly updating your technology. So that's where I think, there's two schools. The large organizations really have to, but they're probably not a perfect fit for you guys, right? Or you'd really have to do a lot to match what a Salesforce can do for them. How do you address that? Do you talk to like big organizations, and are you seeing that as an argument against going with the Introw?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not 100% in the sense that it depends on the mindset of that organization. If we take, for example, a Factorial HR, one of our customers, they have more than 60 partnership managers worldwide. It's a company of about 3,000 employees. It's not a high enterprise, but it's still a decent account. The thing is, they have the mindset of moving fast, so that's why we can collaborate with them. Now, obviously, if you really have a lot of customization needs and so on, and if you want to have everything custom towards your needs from A to Z, then Introw will probably not be the right solution for you. Obviously, if you take that back to the larger scale, it's thinking also for the organization, like what do we want to achieve and in what time frame? Do we want the 100% perfect partner portal? Or do we want to have 70% of the capabilities live tomorrow? So I think that's a little bit the trade-off for all these types of companies. But that being said, the ecosystem of partnership tooling, we really love it, and we have tremendous of respect of all these tools, and we really know how good they are and where they are really accelerating, or where they are really in what points they're really good. So I think there's just space for a lot of platforms there.
Yeah, and I don't disparage anyone. I don't do that in my job. I don't like to disparage competitors either. But I think there's the right solution for the right type of company, and it's definitely it has to fit the right model, right? So, Jeff, why don't we move over to, I don't know if you want to talk about the big five. I think that's a great note that I see from our pre-show scripts, but let's talk about the big five and what you thought about that.
So what I basically, Andreas, went out and like I said, I kind of did some research after we met, came away with really five, what I call the big five, the takeaways of what I see. I'm a big guy about differentiation, right? What makes you different can help sometimes kind of tip the scales. And so I basically went out and looked, and what I thought was interesting is the big five that I found were the fact that you're CRM first, right? So there's no what I'll call duct tape integrations, right? Like you actually have integrations into the CRMs. You're trying to, again, reduce friction, keep it simple, drive high value. You're also looking at a no-code environment, which I'm not sure kind of how that plays into the AI stuff, which we can unpack. I did find it interesting, the off-portal activity, where as I mentioned, you're trying to meet partners where they work, right? Whether it's email, whether it's Slack, driving more value to get people to kind of tie into that. And then really the others were, like I said, I think you mentioned it, flexibility, right? Which is the modular aspect. And I think the simpler that you can make it with these big, with these top five differentiators, I think would be great. Out of the five, which I've got CRM first, no coding, working off portal, modular or flexibility, and then real time. How would you rank, like, out of those five? What do you see as your interactions with clients? How would you stack rank them?
We would say time to value at first, because that has a lot of other implications as well. Time to value. Why do we say that as the first differentiator? It's because in that one, you have that CRM first approach, you have that flexibility, you have that modularity. And if we go a little bit more granular on that, it's definitely your revenue stack integration, right? A deep CRM integration,
I love that,
on every object, and also the fact that the sales team can just stay working in their CRM.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when I think about the off portal, and you mentioned Copilot, and that's why I said I wanted to. Now I've had two opportunities to kind of drill in on this because it is a big topic for John and I, where we've talked about AI. We've got some different people coming on in the next month or 6 weeks. Talk to me about what you guys are doing with AI and Copilot, and how's that either speeding up, enhancing, or again reducing friction and bringing more time to value for your clients.
Yeah, it's very interesting what they've done. Go ahead, Andreas.
Yeah, no. So one thing I think about, something that we recently launched, is our channel conflict resolution with AI. So it actually means if a partner registers a deal, Introw will automatically look in all your revenue stack, in your CRM, other data sources, if there's similar opportunities, similar accounts, and it will actually help the partnership managers to decide with which partners they need to collaborate on this specific deal, right? So this is all automated. There's zero code required for that, and we do more than just domain matching. We go really big with our AI model that we've built around that. That's one point, which is really saving time. And at scale, imagine if you're receiving 50 to 100 deals per day, you really don't have time to look in your CRM, check again if there's things, ask your sales team about that. So we automate that from A to Z. That's one thing. A second thing that has a really good impact is actually our partner support AI bot, which actually allows you to train, set up, and actually deploy a partner support bot in actually minutes or even seconds if you would like so. So Introw is actually automatically scraping all your website data, your partner portal content, PDFs, and what tier these partners are, and so on. And it allows your partners to ask questions 24/7 without needing to ask questions to the partner manager. So think about questions like these are happening daily in our platform. Like, I have this prospect, what do I need to tell them to actually sell this solution? There's this competitor, what are our battle cards against this competitor to sell your solution better? I want to register a deal, where is that? That's also a possibility. So this is actually reducing partner support for some of our customers already with 30%, allowing them to focus again more on relationships and building these partnerships.
Yeah, that's amazing. The AI bot, the support bot, tell us a little more about how you can create the support for the partners, or the understanding, the enablement that you talked about, because that's very interesting. I haven't really grabbed onto that one yet.
Do you mean the partner AI agent, John?
Yeah, you said the AI bot, not the channel conflict, but you said yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so that's what it actually does. So you can actually add your knowledge bases, your website, for example, automatically. It will read automatically all the partner content, and it allows your partners to ask 24/7 questions about who you are as a company. Exactly.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
exactly.
I gotta learn that. That is amazing. I love that. That's an announcement in the making.
Exactly. Well, you can even brand it towards what you want, right? So you can call it the John AI bot if you would like, and it's literally in one click. So
yeah, I'm the face for the portal. I'm the bot.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Wow.
Well,
that was a weird vision that John's a bot. Okay. Wow.
No, and
now I've seen it all.
Maybe to tie back again on one small thing that I was thinking about is what you said about Jay McBain. So really love the insights and numbers and clear vision on partnerships from Jay. And what we also saw is that obviously partnerships are a lot more developed in the US. So this is a cool thing for you guys to know as well, compared to Europe, where we sometimes still need to explain what's the difference between a distributor and a reseller, which for a US is very straightforward. It brings me back to a funny conversation with Jay, where he said, like, I think you guys should move to the US if you really want to get that scale. And by building the company more and more over the last years, now we really understand why that is. It's just because the US is much more developed in terms of partnerships. So that's
Hey, let me know. I'll rep you here in the US. I could probably go and preach on a soapbox and get some customers to sign up. I mean, it's that's how much I believe in what you're doing, but also in PRM as a solution in general. I think he's right. I think, it's so much different here in the US. I've run global channel organizations where it's so different in Europe. The distribution partners rule. You really
Yeah.
need to go through them to get anything done. And there's a few. There's some splinter distribution partners you work with, and they're hungry and aggressive. But you really got to go through the big guys, right? Whereas here, distribution really isn't like the thing here, right, Jeff? It's a part of the.
It is, but not like it is in Europe. No, you're absolutely right.
No.
But I think it's the political geographic boundaries in Europe that dictate that, right, from a distributor. It's just harder. I mean, you've got an amazing canvas to work with here in the US, right? So, and to your point, at some point through your evolution, if you want to, like they say, if you want to make it, there's the old joke: if you want to make it, go to New York, and if you can make it in New York, you make it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a foothold here in the U.S. and you start to get that traction, like John said, I mean, John would definitely be. You could be one of the quotes on your website, but it would be in the next evolution, right? And again, it's all about where you guys are at in your growth process and when you're looking to kind of pull that trigger to make that move. But so far, everything I've seen, and like I said, John using it, I mean, it seems like a really, really solid product. I guess, and just kind of bring it back, where do you see Introw in the next, I'll say, 9 months, 18 months, right? I don't want to go too far. I mean, but, maybe back in the day, you're probably no disrespect. People say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I started just asking people, where do you see yourself in 2 to 3 years? Because everything is evolving so quickly that you could, change your direction pretty quickly. But where do you see Introw, in the next 18 to 24 months? As an example.
No, true. And it's indeed crazy how fast everything is moving. I think definitely in technology, it's much harder to imagine a world in 4 to 5 years, even from strong technology players. Like, how will we actually fill in a CRM? Will we still do that in the CRM?
Yep.
Will we really create a deal? For the partners, it's the same. Will they still fill in a form to submit deals? And so these are obviously on maybe longer than 18 months or 24 months things that we're thinking about. Now, obviously, where we see ourselves is the goal is literally to have partners stay where they are at any point of time. So for them to not move, to not go to 10 different portals, to actually creating a world where everybody can stay where they are, and where agents will eventually communicate with each other. Right? So this is what it will
great,
like. Potentially
Yeah.
potentially your partner will have an agent which will register the deal to your agent, right? So this is a future which is not so far away, right? It's really going to happen like that, right? So in that way, you all of a sudden get a deal registration from the agent of your partner to your agent. They maybe had a conversation already about that deal. That's really not so far away.
That's crazy. You made me think of Elon and his Neuralink, right? So I'm just going to get the Neuralink, and I'm thinking about registering the deal. So then my brain just tells the agent to go, and then everything just happens, right, John? I just sit back. I just sit back and collect the checks.
But you know what? That kind of ties off on his point about the portal being very easy to use. That's easy times 3 for partners. Like, they wouldn't have to think; they just have to throw it in their agent. The agent thinks for them and funnels it to the right portal, right? That's amazing. I'd like to see that happen.
Yeah.
But listen, we're bumping up on time, Andreas. This is great. I wish we had more time. We may have you come back. But you're amazing, and I think you've developed a phenomenal product. If anyone is interested, you can go to the company website. It's www.introw, and it's spelled INTROW.com.
.io. Sorry.
What's that?
It's .io. It's not .com.
Oh, sorry.
.io. Ooh,
yeah,
sorry about that.
Or .ai will also revert you to the homepage.
Okay, so I stand corrected. Intro.io or .ai. Look, I would suggest, if you're looking at a platform to manage partners, give Introw a serious look. It's just an amazing technology. Having experience with at least 8 different solutions over the years, this one tops them all right now. So, Andreas, kudos to you and your company and your founders for developing a great product. Looking forward to the innovation that you're going to, come up with or integrate into Introw over the years. And please keep us posted on that. Really thank you for your time today. And you were a great guest. Jeff, any closing remarks?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, very impressive, man. 26. My daughter's 26, so I like to pressure I like to pressure my kids all the time, and just be like, "Hey, look at this." There was a 20-year-old who won a gold medal in the Olympics, and I sent the picture to my kids, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" But seriously, really impressive, man. So love what I'm seeing with what you guys are doing. My 3 takeaways from this conversation. I mean, it's kind of, and like I said, John, I say this all the time on the calls. I'm always kind of taking notes because my wheels are spinning, but number 1 takeaway about Introw, right? You guys are focused on adoption first, time to value. You guys, try to keep it simple, right? Simple, frictionless. And then the third would be, your partner centric design, right? Keeping it aligned with where meeting the partner where he lives. I'm a big fan of that with customers, meeting the customer where they live, and the partners are your customer, right? So, just huge kudos to you and the company and the team for what you guys have done. But thank you as well. I really appreciate it. It was great meeting you in person at Catalyst. Looking forward to meeting you guys again in person. So thank you again for showing up.
I hope to meet you in person at the next one. I couldn't make this 100%.
But... And thank you so much, guys, for having me. And next time, I'll make sure to wear my Hawaii shirt as well.
Maybe we should get him one of. This is our branded shirt. We'll get you one, Andreas.
That's good. Send me your guys' address as well, and we'll send up some merch to you guys as well.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I'll send that to you. All right. Well, hey, thank you again, Jeff. As always, appreciate you co-hosting with us. For the audience, you could find us on all of the different podcasting services that are out there. We have a website, www.channelsurfers.com. Jeff can be reached at jeff@channelsurfers.com. I'm John at channelsurfers.com. And we also have our LinkedIn page where we release, when we release a show, we give you a full overview and a summary of the show on LinkedIn. And we encourage you to comment and reach out to us. Again, if you're interested in partner portals, reach out to Andreas. The partner portal he's put together is amazing, and you won't be sorry. So, but until our next show, thank you very much, everyone. And Jeff, we will talk again very soon.
Yep. Thank you, John. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Andreas.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.